Cheers to Doctor Strange. Continuing Marvel's record of, what the fuck is that character? Wow, this movie's amazing.
And then it just...
Guardians, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange. Marvel can do no wrong. Iron Man 3. This is part 13. 13.
No?
14.
No, yeah, it's 14.
This is 14.
Civil War was 13. This is 14.
I'm glad he numbers good, because I don't number good.
I can't brain. It has the dumb. I speak English very best. We're not even on beer. We didn't even do cigarettes.
I
Guys,
had no pots today.
Guys, we do have a much longer, much more monotone, boring Doctor Strange review. No, it's good. It's fine.
I love this movie.
Dude, so go check that out if you want us to get more in depth. But we're just doing our.
We did teleport into frame though. So
dude, that was
cool.
awesome. If you want to see some cool special effects from FanSplash,
I don't even have
this
a Adobe,
guy.
man. Like,
Dude,
that was
good. That was
good at things.
He's
real
so,
good.
You're so good.
I'm the best.
But Doctor Strange.
Thanks for that laugh, Seth.
How?
Oh, are we gonna start this review
I
or
didn't read
what?
the baby books. Who gives a flying fuck about the baby books?
The first minute and a half of this review doesn't even count.
Okay, we're gonna have to start. No, we're fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So,
fan casting. I need to bring up fan casting really quick before we get into
that's
this.
what I wanted to talk about because we
excellent.
wanted Benedict Cumberbatch.
Marvel's like, we're doing Doctor Strange, and I was like, hold up. First of all,
what you need to do is
what you gotta do if you're making a Doctor Strange movie, what you need to do is you need to cast my boy Benedict Cumberbatch because he was in
Bennington
The Hobbit.
Cumbersnatch.
Benedict Cumberpickle is one of the most fine actors. He's fine at the most.
Benevue Cumberbum.
Sherlock, BBC Sherlock is a fantastic show. You should watch it if you don't. It's amazing. He was Smaug in The Hobbit, and also the Necromancer. So he does voice acting very well.
He also plays a very interesting character in Zoolander 2. Known film.
Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness. I already loved this actor so much, and he's good at just presence. Like, he brings a presence in the film. So
we were going to get Benedict Cumberbatch, but then who was slated to be Doctor Strange?
Joaquin Phoenix?
What? Joaquin.
I'm just joking with you.
Joaquin Phoenix. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it'll work, but...
That was my reaction, too. I was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, it'll work fine. Joaquin Phoenix
is a great actor.
He's a fantastic actor.
So, like...
One of the ones that's almost perfect. But Benedict Cumberbatch would just so perfectly fit the profile of Doctor Strange that we were still like, no. Benedict Cumberbatch.
The news came out, like, I think Benedict was their first choice, I guess, and then he was doing Broadway or something, and so scheduling wouldn't line up. So, like, all right, Joaquin Phoenix. But Joaquin would not sign more than one film. And then I'm like,
well... They're like, at this point, they're 14 movies deep, so they're like, no.
Go away. And then, so they sorry to give you guys, maybe you think this is interesting, maybe you don't. If not, skip forward like a minute and a half, whatever. But... but then they didn't want to go to like third choice. You know, you never want to go to a third tier quarterback. It's never a good move. So they go back to Benedict.
Russell Wilson turned out to be great.
Was he third? I don't know.
Well, he was
I don't football well known.
Way back in the draft.
But anyways, so they talk to Benedict, and he's like, "Well, after blah blah blah, I'll be free." So then they push Doctor Strange back a little bit, and we got Benedict motherfucking Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. Fan casting.
Okay, so we'll actually talk about the movie now.
Oh, were we going to talk about the movie today?
No, just Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, okay. This is the Benedict podcast.
But Doctor Strange, the movie, again, like what if you've been keeping track of these, in Ant-Man I talked about what I appreciated about it was that it introduced a new realm of possibility, a new element into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Previously in Thor, it's magic, but they played it off like it's not magic, even though it's magic. They're like, but it's technology. No, it's not. It's not. If nobody else can do it, and you've got, like, it's magic.
We call it magic, you call it science. I come to a place where they're one and the same. And I was like, oh, that's a boring explanation, but sure.
Yeah, you got a rainbow road that connects you. Mario Kart style.
Yeah, explain the science on that.
Yeah, explain the science on the fucking hammer. Like, I don't know. There's
It was built by a dwarven star. Dwarves are magic. Fuck you, Thor. All right. Well,
but this very much solidifies magic as a thing. It's been a thing the whole time. Can't believe you haven't noticed it before. Oh, that's because it's super secret.
It's secret, and there's the Mirrorverse. So like we can have these.
It's a secret, right? They have all their fights in a mirror dimension, which is crazy.
The way that movie kicks off with the Ancient One, fighting off the invaders or whatever, dope. Mm-hmm. Just like running up the side of buildings, like the movie hasn't even really begin, and you don't know what the fuck you're watching. You're like, what is that? I'm tripping balls.
A lot of people didn't give this movie a chance because they're like, oh, it's too much like Inception. From what? From a bent scene that you saw in the trailer? It was nothing like Inception.
I'm sorry, the visuals in this movie shat on Inception.
Inception, I don't want to say, because I want people to continue watching these, so I won't give my opinion on Inception. But
okay, so the things we like about Doctor Strange, obviously the casting, we gotta get going. I'm sorry, the movie gets me excited, people, because spells and Doctor Strange. All right, if you guys didn't already know, I'm gonna run down real quick. Dr. Stephen Strange, which was briefly mentioned in The Winter Soldier, if you go back and watch that movie, like I already told you to do, Jasper Sitwell says, Stephen Strange, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but he is a surgeon, works with his hands, right? He gets in a horrible car crash, because he's an idiot.
Dick.
He's not paying attention. He's like, arrogant dick. He makes Tony Stark look like a nun.
You ever seen the Dr. Dre, I Need a Doctor music video? That happens to him.
Yeah. He gets in that car crash and, my hands, and I'm going to use everything I have to continue being a dick and also try to get functionality in my hands back.
So he does all this research trying to, figure out how to get the use of his hands back. Ends up going down this rabbit hole where he, ends up at the Ancient One's door. Mm-hmm. And then they turn him away. He's, persistent and
resilient.
I was going to say resilient, but I didn't think that was the best word. But it is, apparently. Vocabulary. We'll learn some today. And so they bring him in. He's shitty at it at first, but he quickly becomes...
Well, let's talk about what gets him into it first. Because he's like... once he realizes that they're trying to talk about magic and stuff, he's like, oh, well, I see through you. And they're like, oh, do you? Well, here's a trip. Bye.
Oh, yeah, and they just send him into, this acid trip dimension.
I can watch that scene, that, 5-10 minute period or whatever, over and over and over again. It's so psychedelic and trippy, and so Steve Ditko from the comics, Jack Kirby, just amazing visuals when you're just like, I had to watch it in 3D. I hate 3D. I saw this movie in IMAX 3D.
We saw it in IMAX 3D.
Holy shit.
Right. And because we knew, we kind of had the idea going into it from the trailers, it's of all movies to see in 3D, this is probably the one. Yeah. And it was. And you can't do it anymore. Right. But I highly recommend seeing it in IMAX 3D.
As you were. Sorry. You're talking about he's shitty at it first.
Yeah, he's shitty at it at first, but he quickly becomes, really good at it. And one of the better ones. And then he's forced into, having to step up and
oh, yeah, they just straight up get attacked.
Right.
There's no prep. It's just...
Right. So you have to get good at it fast. And then he lucks upon the... God, what is it called?
The Cloak of Levitation.
Yeah, the Cloak of Levitation.
You're welcome.
Which helps him out a lot.
And it's sentient, which is one of my favorite things about this movie.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And a lot of people don't remember the villain's name. It's Caecilius, played by Mads Mikkelsen. And he gets not a lot of credit. People forget about him. I enjoyed him as a villain. I thought he had a nice little snark to him.
He was fine as a villain, but I think my one problem with Doctor Strange is that the villain side was very underused.
Underused, yes. I think he was well cast and well kind of portrayed, but underused. Yes, yeah. I can completely agree with that. And I was talking to somebody recently about how this is one of my favorite interactions between two characters, and that is when Caecilius first meets Doctor Strange, and he's like, "Oh, you're too late, Mister." He's like, "It's Doctor." "Oh, Mr. Doctor." "No, it's Strange." "Maybe. Who am I to judge?" And I laughed hard when I saw that in the trailer. I laughed hard when I saw it in the movie, and it's still one of my favorite back and forths. Very well written. The movie was directed by Scott Derrickson, who was known for the Sinister franchise. So they had a horror movie director, which I think helped with some of the visuals, some of the ideas and things.
One of the cool things about this movie is that while somebody is dying, unresponsive on an operating table, they can astral project and say goodbye with the use of, you know, the astral plane and magic and
different passing of time.
You know, like, he got to say goodbye to her, and that's something that, you know, none of the other characters in the Avengers can do. So it's a cool new realm of possibility thing for us. And I think Doctor Strange delivers the greatest scene up to that point. The greatest thing that had ever been done with an Infinity Stone that we don't know is an Infinity Stone at the time.
The Eye of Agamotto.
The Eye of Agamotto is used in the Dormammu scene where they had won. What's his name? Caecilius's men had won. They had taken the city. Everyone was dead.
Hong Kong that was completely wiped out there.
Yeah, and their whole thing had gone up. The dark dimension had come out. The world was going to end, and he uses the Eye of Agamotto, and he goes to the dark dimension directly to speak with Dormammu,
who is like, he's the god of the dark dimension. He's a big floating head, and we can talk about that on a different podcast because some people don't like that, but I have thoughts.
And then, you know, it's Dormammu, I've come to bargain, you've come to die. Dormammu, I've come to bargain, you've come to die. What the hell's going on?
He just kills him like 30, 40 times.
And then he's like, what's going on? And he's like, time, I bring you time, an infinite loop. And this can go on forever, or you can fuck off.
Yeah.
And then so
he's warned that time does not exist. It does not pass. There is no time in the dark dimension. He's like, well, I'm going to bring time.
Yeah.
And, he just basically trolls Dormammu like over and over again. And it's extremely entertaining and well written, like you were saying.
And then he goes back and then, like, just rewinds everything.
Wong comes back to life. We haven't even talked about Wong. Like, Wong's awesome. He loves Beyonce.
Yeah. That whole thing, I just think that entire scene is a great climax for a film. It's a fantastic climax.
Leading up to that, the climax, the sub-climax, if you want to call it that, is also awesome because they're fighting in a reversed battle scene, basically. Like, all the buildings are, like, trying to, like, go back up and stuff and, like,
and they can phase out of it, and then now they're part of it, fighting.
Visually, hands down, at this point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Guardians, I love you. This was the most visually stunning thing that Marvel, or I think most studios, have ever done.
Yeah, without a doubt, hands down.
Great cast. Tilda Swinton, they gender bended the Ancient One role, and I think they did a phenomenal job with it.
They gender bended, but they didn't race. They race bended too.
Yeah, there was a lot of bending.
Yeah. But she did. She's a great actor, and she did really well. So
yeah, she's familiar with doing angelic kind of magical roles like Constantine.
Check her out in Constantine. That movie's underrated. Anyway, is that all we have to say about?
I think so. I think
we need to wrap it up. But good job, Benedict Cumberbatch. Good job. Who's the director?
Scott Derrickson.
Yeah, good job.
Good job, Scott.
Good job, Marvel. Good job, Doctor Strange.
Oh, Doctor Strange. So we're using our made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
Cool. Road to Infinity War.
All right.
Guys, up next is...
Was this 14?
14. So up next is 15, which is Spider-Man Homecoming? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Spider-Man.
So we're not going to do it because it's owned by Sony. We're sort of skipping it. Just kidding, guys. Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Peace out.
May the film be with you.